Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to 55 Days of Christ Consciousness. We are on day 49. We're nearing the end. And I'm Gina, Soul Inspired Reflections, kind of your guide and navigator during this journey of Christ consciousness, self-mastery deck. And really, invite any of you to let go of the religious aspects, or let's say, just loosen your grip, right? And recognizing these are about the qualities that reside within you, within me, and how might we cultivate them? So for some of you newly visiting, and if the word Christ and Jesus causes a certain contraction within you, I invite you to just exhale. Know that that's information in that contraction, just as much as there's information in the expansion and relief that you might feel in your body. And that's for you to explore should you choose. And self-mastery definitely is a journey. It's an experiential journey of the soul. That's how I would describe it, in an inner ascension and return to the light within you and the qualities that you express through this body as a soul in a physical body, as energy within this body, as light within this body. And no one's going to have your same experience. So remember that. But we can learn from each other's experiences. It may ignite something within you. It may bring a new perspective going, I didn't see it that way before. And so I really, really invite you to always keep your heart open, especially when you want to close it. We're in a time of so much energy, so much change each day, externally within the world and within you, and emotions may be up or down or just kind of plateau, or you may feel even kind of flat. You may be progressing and taking these quantum leaps and then all of a sudden nothing. So to be in the oneness of your heart and recognize there's something masterfully at play here as you connect with your divinity, you're integrating your I am presence, you're coming into your Christed light being, your crystalline, your Christos Sophia code coming in, that balance of masculine and feminine energies, or your divine union within the self, right? Where you can also recognize that connection to life and with life that is inside of you and outside of you, that connection to the universe that's within you and outside of you as well. It's one and the same. It's the micro, it's the macro. And how might you walk this world with more ease, with more grace, as you're integrating your Christ-like body, your Christ-like way of being and living, and putting that into practice, if you will, put the qualities that live within you into practice, right? We all have our natural medicine, as our shamanic studies and my shamanic mentors would remind me of, like, everyone comes with a medicine, right? But really, we all hold all the medicine within us. You hold all your own answers within you. So maybe on this journey, and maybe go revisit some other days, teachings where you get not just what's come through me, but also what's come through the message of the card that was channeled through Amanda Ellis, as well as the pictures that were channeled and created through Jane Delaford Taylor. There's things that when you really take in the images and listen to your heart, what gets shown to you? Because every time I look at these cards, every time I look at the images, something different stands out. And remembering that you're always changing. So even though the message in the card may read the same, the image may be the same, you are not. So what stood out to you maybe a week ago or a month ago, or maybe you're coming across this a year later, something new may stand out to you because you are different. Your consciousness is expanding and growing. you're able to hold more perspectives, I hope. I hope, right? So because change is constantly brewing within you, you're different from the time you wake up to the time you go to bed. So that being said, remember to like and share this video if you feel you're getting some value out of it. And it's wonderful to share. You never know what might support someone along their journey. And I oftentimes come across things where I might be a little like, oh, no, but then when I sit with it, I've always gained a little bit of a nugget or a jewel inside. So let's see which card of this deck wants to be shared with us today as we reach our tail end here, which is perfectly fitting as we're coming to the end of the year, because today is actually the end of winter solstice, the height of it, at least on the Pacific Eastern time or Pacific time, December 21st, 2023. So the card that jumped out is Pilgrimage on Onward Steps. Hold that card up for you. Pilgrimage, Onward Steps. As I take in this card, well, one, I love to go on pilgrimages because so much can happen for you. I get to just pluck myself out of my day-to-day life and really be with myself, with nature on this walk. And I come back relaxed, restored, rejuvenated, changed, reawakened, reopened, elevated most often, cracked open, if you will. But we also see these steps. So if we're looking into our self-mastery, your spiritual evolution, your human evolution, as they integrate and become balanced and harmonized and integrated, as your soul and heart take the wheel, as your masculine and feminine energies are in balance as you live this life, and you're creating a whole new world within you, there's steps along the way. So how might you create space to go on a pilgrimage to support your journey, right? There's so much fun and so exciting. Yeah, there's so much fun to go on. And if you have not gone on a pilgrimage of some kind, I highly recommend it. And just go, even if you're nervous and not sure what to expect, go without any expectation of what you're going to experience and how you're going to be. Go with a trusted mentor or facilitator or group. Even if it's people you don't know, you have no idea the connections you might make and be drawn out within yourself and with others. If you go on a group pilgrimage, because so much happens for you individually and for that specific group of souls that have come together. And you may even be able to deepen your practice of going on inward and onward as you make this inner ascension, right? This inner evolution, right? Even though we see the steps going up, but there's also, if you think about it, you can also come down, right? The path is clear, yet there's different stages along the way. There's different steps that take on different shapes, and it could be kind of bumpy and smooth in some areas, but then you're greeted by these beautiful trees at the top, and there's looks like a sunrise or sunset at the end in the horizon. So going onward in horizon, right? What's in your horizon? What do you see? What's your vision for yourself, your bigger picture for yourself, right? When I was studying my nature connected life coaching and leadership program, we talked about vision often. What's our vision? And what's the dream? Because they're two different things. How does the vision support you getting and creating the dream, right? How might a pilgrimage, whether it's even just a weekend, support you coming into clearer vision for yourself, within your growth, within your life, right? As you and we all shed aspects of ourselves that we thought we knew ourselves, and realizing we don't know ourselves at all. And we're really cracking the surface of what it is to be in this life, what it is to be a creator, what it is to be in self-mastery, um, what it is to, I guess, what it is to live this life. How do you keep one foot in front of the other? How do you continue to move onward, right? And going on a pilgrimage is an ancient thing. It reminds me also of going on quests, right? It's like a rite of passage to growth, a coming of age, right? We all have different stages in our life where something changes and we take different steps, we take different action, we view the world slightly differently, we view ourselves slightly differently. And I can see it in different, like as I go home to visit, right? And now I have my nieces are in different stages of their life. One's in junior high, she's a 12-year-old, 13-year-old. The other one is, how old am I, 47, 27, right? And then her sister is 21. Very different stages in life, where I look back and go, oh, wow, I remember maybe not saying the exact same things, but the limitation in the view of the world, right? Because they haven't lived life enough yet. So their perspective is still a little bit narrow, right? Granted, there can be adults older in age that maybe they just stayed in one place, and so that's all they know. When you go on a pilgrimage, it can open you up to the world, right? You can go to the top and you can get a grander view, kind of like we had the Freedom Card a few days prior, what, day 47, I think, or 46, to get that view. And there's no more psychic weight, there's no emotional and mental weight. You can just see everything when you're living in the soul and in your heart. And when then in the light, everything gets easier. Granted, the journey can get bumpy, right? I don't want to sugarcoat it. It can be very challenging, but at the same time, those challenges get easier to navigate because you've taken the time, you've taken steps toward building your framework, your foundation, learning about the energetics of your body, learning about your inner foundation and spiritual growth, and be able to expand with that. What steps shall you take to continue to move onward in whatever your heart is drawing you to? So many of you are talking about your life's purpose, but have no idea what that means. And that's okay, because it's a sign that you're growing. That's a soul question. What's my purpose here? That's a conversation to have with God, your I am presence, your inner lights. Show me what my purpose is here. How do I bring light to situations? What is it that I can do to support my integration with my I am presence, with my higher qualities, with the person I would like to become? How do I be that now? Well, one step at a time. One step at a time. And sometimes you may race to a middle point and then you're going to plateau and take a rest. The rest is important because it allows you to integrate all these other steps that you've taken. Some of you may be on a quickening, so it feels like all these steps you've just raced through, even in a year's time. And then all of a sudden now you're like, oh, I'm tired, I need a break. Totally fine. Because resting helps you integrate, it helps you heal, it helps the dust, so to speak, settle. In swimming and running, there's something called tapering your workouts, right? So you train, and like the week before a competition, you taper off. You restore the body, but you keep it moving so you're fresh at the time of the competition, right? While there is no competition in your spiritual growth and journey, there is no need to feel like you have to race to get anywhere, because there is no destination. It's an infinite journey of growth, infinite journey of ascension, and it's all happening in its divine time. There's nothing for us to race to, even though we feel like we need to. When we get surges of energy, all of a sudden it's like, I got to do something, I got to do it. And it's like, bah, 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 bah. Breathe and come back into your center. Return to the tools, return to prayer and contemplation, as we explored in day 48 or 7, day 47. How might that assist you in staying aligned and staying in your vision and to move onward, to move forward, to move and transcend the human experience? You're going to still have the physical experience of being in the body, but how might you transcend the human experience and let go of really the mundane things that all of us have created as such importance, right? It's like we're hardwired to look at the negative and what people didn't give me versus being grateful for, thank you for these experiences, even the ones that I didn't like. When you're so much in the soul and integration, life gets funny. It's like you can laugh. I remember going on some retreats and pilgrimage where things, experiences, you just couldn't make it up. But my other friend and I, we just looked at each other and we just had to start laughing, because you're just like, all right, what next is nature going to bring our way, or spirit going to show us on this journey? Because you really can't make it up. The strangest things it has no logic that the human mind can wrap itself around. You have to begin to just allow the pilgrimage to occur, be in the threshold of the journey, be in the unknown of the journey, because you can't see what's on the other side of this foothill until you get there, right? It may look like a clear passage right here, but on the other side, you don't know if it's a clear passage. You have no idea. None of us know. But let something be ignited within you, within the pilgrimage, to keep going and forging ahead. It's like an exploration. It's an exploration. And the pilgrimage will draw out in you these golden nuggets of information for you. And I get excited just thinking about it, because I'm like, oh my God, how peaceful it would be to go walk the El Camino or the Camino. I think I may add that to my bucket list and do it one day. I don't know when, but it will happen. Because when we are walking in peace and in with purpose, with spirit and contemplation and prayer and with the land and with others, like, I'm going to walk this pilgrimage of spirit, with life. It does become a razor's edge between the chaotic world and a peaceful world, where people are communing together, sharing food, sharing stories, just being in the walk, being in community. Strangers become friends. And then when you step off that road, when you step off this road, it becomes something different. So how might you stay on this road, stay on this path, because you have no idea the peace that will come, and that you're getting sprinkles of that. You're getting drips of it, the peace and the joy that comes as you stay in your path of light. And how might you continue to take the steps that are going to sustain it, going to foster it, going to continue to allow you to grow and move onward and cultivate and create and generate the life that you want, generate the earth that you want, the communities that you want, and that just continues to spread. And it's not from a selfish place. It's from this place of generosity, goodwill, love, which brings in all sorts of things of, even a healthy boundary and whatever that means, right? In a way that people will always just be able to honor each other and see and have such awareness of each other that we end up having reciprocity equally, giving and receiving. We all will feel the giving and receiving with, I'm feeling my hand do this, and it's like making that figure eight, that infinity symbol. It just ebbs and flows. It ebbs and flows in constant creation. It feeds itself. It feeds itself. So how might a pilgrimage assist you in feeding yourself and feeding life and being in this flow of the journey, of the exploration, of the steps, and not putting pressure on yourself that you have to get to the top right away? Some people try to spiritual bypass experiences. And if your soul is meant to experience something, God will make sure you experience it. Because just like a baby learning to walk, it must learn to lift itself up and roll itself over, crawl, pull itself up to build strength. If you skip steps, you skip learning. You skip learning basic abilities, right? You skip all those things. So don't be in a hurry. Master each step along the way. We're talking about self-mastery. You need to be able to master and navigate through all different types of adversity and fluidity and changes. And because as you climb up this hill, the winds will blow. The weather will change. But yet you can still find peace and joy within it all. So that being said, let's take a look at what the message of this card is, because it may be something completely different than what I've been sharing. Like many of you, this is the first time I'm going through many of these cards. And so I'm learning, going through the messages of these cards and exploration along with you, and sharing my experience and wisdom of my own journey and self-mastery over the last, really, it's been longer than a decade, but since I've been conscious of it, it's been the last 10 to 12 years, which doesn't feel that long, but they've been quite pivotal. So this is interesting, card number 22, for those of you that like the numerology. And I think I may actually look up the numerology today. And I'm getting this nudge to like, hey, let's talk about the number 22. So let me, I'm going to pause for just a moment while I look that up. Okay, I pulled it up, and I go to a website because I've always really appreciated the numerology in it, and it's Sacred Scribes, Angel Numbers. Usually I just Google Joanne angel numbers, and then I type the number and I find the website. So angel number 22. Number 22 brings the attributes of the number 2 appearing twice, amplifying its influences. So yes, remember, when things are in multiples, it amplifies it. It's like 33, 22, 11. It amplifies the energy. 44, right? So number 22 relates to your divine life purpose and soul mission, duality and balance, partnership and relationships, diplomacy and adaptability, insight, sensitivity, selflessness. It is a master number, okay? Master number 22 carries the energies and attributes of diplomacy, intuition, emotion, balance and harmony, adaptability, personal power, redemption, idealism, expansion, evolution, philanthropy, service, and duty, in manifesting your highest ideals and desires. Number 22 is a number of power and accomplishment. 22 encourages you to work diligently on your spiritual life path and soul purpose as we think about going onward on this journey, this pilgrimage that you are on, that I am on. Collectively, we're all on it. Angel number 22 brings a message from your angels that you are to take a balanced, harmonious, and peaceful stance in all areas of your life. Stand strong in your personal convictions and act accordingly. You have a great deal to achieve, and with devotion and inner wisdom, you will be able to successfully manifest your desired results. Angel number 22 can turn the most ambitious of dreams into reality. Angel number 22 asks you to see the larger picture and to work with the details necessary to complete that picture. Angel number 22 encourages you to bring things through to fruition on both the spiritual and material planes. That is a very powerful message we have here today for you as we're coming to the end of 2023, preparing to move into 2024. This reading is done on the solstice, where we're even with light and the amount of darkness today. And then we start to move into the return of the light, right? We started off talking about vision versus dreams. What steps do you need to take to head toward your dreams? As you hold the vision, you hold the dream, discovering your purpose, right? How might you use the activities of creation to manifest your desired results, but also let go of how it's exactly supposed to look. Sometimes we get so stuck that it has to be a certain way that interferes with moving forward. Like a painting, if any of you have painted, right? You have a vision of what you want to do, and then you create it, right? So all of us can have an image of the same exact image of wanting to paint a flower, but each of us, that same flower will be painted slightly differently. Okay, it's not going to be exact unless you really want it to be exactly like the rose in front of you, but your shading may be different than mine, right? So there's creativity in the journey. There's creativity in your creations, right? But it's time to focus. It feels like it's time we're talking about duality, right? We're on this earth plane, this school of learning, and how might you stay balanced and harmonious within yourself, right? So you take the steps, you learn the steps to create your foundation. Pilgrimage can be really helpful to return to the way that you will discover for yourself. So let's come to the card. See if I can get enough light on this. The illustration on this card is based on the Pilgrim Steps at St. Michael's Mount in Cornwall, England, a medieval path and one climbed by those long ago and who sought spiritual nourishment and enlightenment. In days of old, they would have been climbing to visit the church at the top. While there's nothing wrong in doing this, today's pilgrim is often aware that the true connection to Christ is via the heart, and no building is required. We still climb, though ever upward, seeking connection and increased peace, presence, and awareness. Each step, some smooth and easy, and others more slippery to navigate, reminds us that our spiritual path is made up of many events, people, places, thoughts, and energy. Some we relish in encountering, and others we would prefer to avoid. But all are necessary to navigate if we want to reach our destination. The journey from birth back up the tree of life toward our eventual return to pure consciousness is varied and takes unexpected turns. But as long as we keep our eye on our goal, we never will stay stuck and lethargic. We'll never stay stuck and lethargic in the same place for long. We will see there's always a new vista as we move on to higher ground while bearing witness to each place we stop at on the way to reflect and take in the view. You are encouraged to look back at how far you have already come and how much hard work, dedication, and commitment brought you to the steps in the first place. You signed up for this life and came here to keep learning, growing, and striving to go higher. There is, however, no rush to get to the summit. Rather, it is all about the journey itself, savoring each moment and taking in the day and night, the cycles of nature, and your growing development. Remembering what you once were and who and what you know now, acknowledging all achievements and not comparing progress to others, but honoring your unique journey. Pulling this card may also indicate that you are thinking of taking a pilgrimage. This may be a formal to a known destination or to an informal, unmapped one. Pilgrimage is about going within, testing your own resolve and exploring different ways of looking at the world. It may arise out of curiosity or necessity. You may feel burned out, needing time away from normal settings to realign and refresh the body, mind, and soul. The pull of a simpler life, a more stripped back routine may also be attractive, with less time distracted by technology and endless things to do. The calling may also be connected to letting go of some material possessions, identities, or an old life. Often, pilgrimage beckons when we are on the apex of new life. We are tired and wish to rebirth ourselves and find out more about what drives us and what could be. Taking time today to just stop and pause will serve you well, to notice and appreciate where you are at, knowing that in this moment you are learning something important. You may also like to sketch, draw, or think about where you would like to go to future far off lands or somewhere nearby. A silent retreat, a walk in the valley or woods, anything is possible, as well as an inner pilgrimage via meditation, breath work, a shamanic journeying. Enjoy the next steps and experiences as you learn more about who you really are. So beautiful. Yeah, anytime you want, you can take the pilgrimage. It's always accessible to you. You just have to create the space, make the choice, and then do some action steps for yourself. Yeah. So many things stood out in this reading. Yeah. Yeah. And just remember, we are all in the cycles of life. Life itself is a cycle and it's a journey and it's a ceremony. It's a ceremony. It has a beginning, a middle, and an end as far as the human body is concerned. The soul will live eternally. That's energy. It keeps on living. But you come into this world, you're birthed, you live your life. That's the threshold. That's the journey. And then you die. The physical body, you leave it. And that completes this cycle. So you're a cycle within a cycle within a cycle. The more you connect and even practice nature connection and being in the natural rhythms of your life, your day-to-day, but also the seasons. In walking the medicine wheel, the seasons are constantly working as a map of your body, a map of where you are in your life in this moment. Some people can be very active right now, even though physically we're in the winter in the Northern Hemisphere. They may have a ton of things going on, and it's almost like this summer activity, right? The celebrations, the coordination of things that really lights people up. While others may be going, maybe they're in between jobs and they're going inward, having more of a winter time. They're going down, they're literally storing, being conservative with their resources while they create their next steps and move into spring, right? So sometimes people can have their life turned upside down and it can feel a little chaotic, but it can be very much a winter time of exploration, expansion. It's winter time is a very expanded thing. And they can move into the south, right? Where we look at, okay, if I have this vision, what are the steps and the people that I need that are going to support that? Because within the directions of the medicine wheel, there's also polarity, as we were talking about duality, as we're working with the number 22, right? Here we're in the solstice, we're at the midway point of winter as the light returns. So where is it in you that, what support do you need? Whether it's tools, whether it's people, maybe it's a venue, maybe it's more money, maybe it's less, maybe it's more time and leisure. What is it that you need? What's your soul need right now? Are you listening? Are you taking steps to cultivate that and cultivate it? Are you giving yourself time to rest and integrate? Right. And really honor this time because you are sacred. You are the sacred walking this earth right now. Everything we think, say, and do leaves an energetic footprint that puts a ripple out. So take one step at a time to become the master that you are and already have been and and then exist deep down within you. Stay on your path. Take time to contemplate and self-reflect. I'm Gina, Soul Inspired Reflections. Much love to all of you. And remember to like and share this video and share some comments. How are you doing along your path? What steps have you taken? Or do you feel that you need some more support of some kind? And what is it? Go down inside and into your heart and be like, what is it that I want to celebrate right now and in the space that I'm in? And what is it that I'd like to cultivate and bring in? And whatever comes to mind is the right answer because you know your answers. You know what you need right now. Much love to all of you.